I tried to find some information on the Courtney Sisters, who are featured on the cover art of this sheet music for The Ghost of the Violin, and I couldn't find very much. Most of what I found was only about the sister named Florence. They were Florence and Faye, and they looked to be pretty close to the same age. I don't think there was a big age difference. Florence was born in 1892. They were originally from Texas, and then they moved to Missouri and then to New York. And their mother became a model, and I couldn't find any information on their father. And after they got to New York, then the two sisters got into show business as a singing act, and they were thought to be one of the first really famous sister harmony acts. I don't think they ever made any recordings. I think they were mainly just vaudeville and Broadway performers. I couldn't find any recordings of them, and I can't find a mention that any recordings by them were ever made. So by 1912, as you can see from this sheet music, which was published in 1912, they were famous enough in vaudeville to be featured on the cover of this music. Florence at first married someone named Mike Bernard, who was a ragtime piano player, apparently. He's kind of a jerk. He messed around on her a lot, and they divorced fairly quickly. And then in 1919, Florence married Georgie Jessel. She was Georgie Jessel's first wife. And George was his real name, but everybody called him Georgie. Georgie Jessel did a little bit of everything. He was already acting as a kid, a vaudeville. He was a vaudeville artist as a kid already, when he was quite young, and he was a comedian, songwriter, singer. He was in Broadway, but I mostly know him just for being a comedian. And he was the one. I know this isn't about the sisters, but it's related. He was the one who created, as far as I know, telephone conversation comedy, where he would have the old-fashioned phone where you had to hold the big part up in front of your face to speak into the horn, and then hold the earpiece up to your ear, and he would have a one-sided conversation as comedy. And one of his most famous ones, it was started out, he would say, "Hello, Mom. This is Georgie. Your son. Yes, the one from the checks." I can't do his voice. I'm not going to try to do his voice, but that's the kind of thing he did. And this style of comedy was later, I guess you could say, appropriated by Bob Newhart. So anyway, back to the sisters. They appeared in 3 Broadway shows that I could find. There was one called The Little Whopper from 1919, one called Blue Eyes from 1921, and another one called Snapshots of 1921, which I assume was also in 1921 based on the title. Later on, Florence became very religious and quit show business, and there was a lot of stress in her marriage with George Jessel, because they were apart a lot due to show business. And then when she quit show business, it separated her from everything George did, because he did not quit show business. He stayed in it all. Is he still alive? No, he couldn't be. But he was in it for a long, long time, for his entire life, and he lived to a ripe old age. She didn't want to go out partying anymore after she got religious, so they divorced, and they had affairs before they were divorced because they were apart so much, and then they got back together again and remarried again, and then divorced again. And Florence finally passed away in 1989, And by that time she had remarried, and her last name was Meyerhoff. I don't know anything about her last husband. Apparently he was not a showbiz person. So that's about all I could find about them. They were a very famous singing act in vaudeville, and they made it all the way to Broadway, but it doesn't look like they ever recorded anything. And like I said, I could only find this information about Florence. I couldn't find anything about Faye. So that's all I got. Thank you very much.